Alright, hi everybody, what's going on? It's the Wrestling King 619 here, back at you with another video. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about Raw and SmackDown this past week. Alright, well, Raw started with Rhea Ripley in the ring, talking about Liv and Dominic. As she said, Liv is walking around with the title that I never lost, and you thought you could take me out, but instead you just pissed me off. And she called out Liv, but Dominic came out, but Liv was on Titantron. She said, I meant what I said when I said I wanted to take everything from you, included Dominic. And it's been so real. More real of what you guys had. Rhea said, I knew you'd be too scared to face me. I have been waiting for 3 months, so at SummerSlam, I want to challenge you and get my title back. And Liv said, I knew it was going to come down to this, so I'm not going to run, but I'm not the same Liv Morgan. You knew, and I accept. Rhea said, at SummerSlam, I won't only end your title, I won't end your title reign or your revenge tour, but I will end your career. Now it's the opening contest, Sheamus versus Bronson Reed. Sheamus gave him white noise and pinned him, but Reed kicked out. Reed gave Sheamus a sit-down powerbomb and pinned him, but Sheamus kicked out. But just like last week, wait, hold on. But with the running knee, Sheamus won the match. And just like last week, after the match, Pete Dunne and Reed attacked him, but Pete Dunne came out. He wanted to shake Dunne's hand, but just like last week, Dunne rolled out of the ring. And Dunne is mad at him for breaking up the Brawling Brutes. Dunne gave him a sneak attack, and Reed gave him a tsunami. We go back to the clubhouse, and Rhea is talking to Priest about needing any help with Gunther at SummerSlam or tonight with Strowman, which was Monday night. But then she said, why is Carlito in here? And Dominic came in and said, I've been trying to reach you all week. And Rhea said, what about the 3 months that I was injured? She said, you were just playing around with Liv. And Rhea left. We go backstage to Sammy and Dragunov. And Sammy wanted to give Dragunov a title opportunity. But he said, this is not the end of Breaker. And Sammy said, this has nothing to do with last week. I went to Adam Pearce and challenged you for my title because I've been watching you, and you are a special talent. And you remind me a lot of myself, and when you're raging, and your hair is all messed up, and you have welts all over you, that's how it's supposed to be and look like when you're fighting for your life, and that's the kind of person that deserves a title opportunity. Now it's Sonya Deville versus Zelina Vega. And this match came about because earlier today, which was Monday, Jackie Redmond was interviewing Vega, and she said she wants another shot at the title. DeVille, Stark, and Baszler came on the scene, and DeVille basically said, we are always at the front of the line, but Vega said, nothing and nobody is going to get in my way of the title. This match wasn't anything special. Baszler interfered, and it looked like she injured her shoulder, Zelina Vega's shoulder, which the ref didn't see it, and Deville with the Devil's Advocate won the match. They were beating her up after the match, but then Kaden, Katana, and Lyra came out to her aid. We go backstage to Jey Uso. Yeet. And Priest and Dominic, and Uso said, is it true Rhea's single and ready to mingle? But they didn't take too kindly to that, and it will be Uso versus Dominic later, which is again last Monday. We go backstage again to Adam Pierce and Chad Gable, and Gable said, "I know Uncle Howdy is none other than Bo Dallas, and you talked to him last week, and I want to know what his repercussions are." Pierce couldn't tell him, but said, "Bo is here tonight. You can speak to him yourself if you want." Then we go to the ring with Damian Priest face to face with Gunther for their match at SummerSlam. Gunther said, Gunnar said, "You are still living out your dream of becoming World Heavyweight Champion, but your reign has been nothing. No prestige, no contributions. I want to lift that weight off of your shoulders." And he wants a title. Priest said, "While you're wrestling in Europe, I literally had to fight for my life on the streets because he was actually homeless at one point." And he said, "If you're here just to collect a paycheck, and then we don't need you here. I earned this title." Gunther said, "Being on the street is a choice. Don't blame me that your parents couldn't provide you with a good life. My parents provided everything for me. And while you were on the street, WWE was begging me to sign a contract. And you're just like these fans. Nothing but street trash." Priest said, "For someone who has so much clarity, you can't see what's coming right at you. And you don't know why you lost your title at Mania, and the same reason why you will lose to me at SummerSlam. And that is because you don't have heart. You don't know what it feels like to fight for your life. And at SummerSlam, we'll see if you're a conceited scumbag." And they were face to face, but then Strowman came out because he's facing Priest next. We go backstage to Pierce and Breaker, and he said, "Why are you giving Dragunov a shot for Sammy's title?" And then Breaker said, "I'll just destroy everyone in it. I'll just destroy everyone in the match." And Pierce said, "I figured you would do that, but I don't need you joining McIntyre in suspension. So, what I did was I hired security to escort you out of the building. Now, back to the ring, and it's Braun Strowman versus Damian Priest." Strowman was doing the express, but Priest sideswiped him, and he went over the barricade to the timekeeper's area. Clutching at his right knee, Priest did the South of Heaven and actually won the match with no help, and I think it was because Strowman hurt his knee. After the match, Gunther came back out, and Priest and him were fighting. Then we go backstage to the Alpha Academy, and they think that they should help Gable tonight, which is Monday, because he's calling out Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy. But we have found out that they actually weren't talking about Gable. They were talking about Xavier Woods. And then Woods showed up, and Maxine said that we will be in your corner next week because Kofi is out. And Gable was like, "Really, this guy, not me?" Now it's Kaden and Katana versus Zoe and Baszler, with Lyra and Sonya at ringside. Kaden and Katana did the kickstand to them outside the ring. Zoe gave Katana a running knee, and then Shayna also gave her a knee strike and pinned Katana, but she kicked out. Sonya was on the apron trying to distract Katana, but Lyra pulled her down. But Zoe would launch Katana over her head and met with a knee by Shayna and won the match. We go to the clubhouse, and Balor said to Rhea that Liv helped. Well, Liv technically did help us win the titles, and Rhea said, "I'm not mad. I'll get my title back too." Then Dominic told her that Jay was talking bad about you, so I made a match with him, and I'm going to show him that no one disrespects mommy, and you belong to me. Yeah, but then Rhea Ripley left, and Dominic was like, wait, like he wasn't supposed to say it that way, like, but then Carlito said that was not cool, man. Then we go back to the ring with Adam Pearce and Drew McIntyre, and Pearce said, I want this match, Punk wants this match, and these fans want this match. The only question is, how bad do you want the match? Drew said, oh, I want this match more than anything. And Pearce said, good, but in order to do so, you have to leave the unprofessional behind. He says, the fans' opinion is the only ones that matter. And he wants the match at SummerSlam. He said, in order to get the match, you have to do one thing. And he brought the two referees that Drew beat up after Money in the Bank in the ring, and Pearce wants an apology out of McIntyre. He's like, hey, why should I? You're kind of embarrassing me. Let's leave this behind us. And the crowd was chanting, say you're sorry. But he said, no, because of everything that the referees put me through. Pearce said, and he also said, Pearce, this has all happened under your watch. Mania, Clash of the Castle, my home country, cost me Money in the Bank, but yet you have no repercussions for Punk. And Pearce said, if you won't own up to your mistake, then I will. And Drew, you are still suspended. McIntyre pushed the referees again and was face to face with Pearce. But then Rollins came out and came in the ring, but like a coward, Drew escaped the ring. Now it's back to in-ring competition. Jey Uso versus Dominic Mysterio, but Dominic attacked Uso before the bell rang, but the referee got under control. Dominic did the Three Amigos and pinned Uso, but he kicked out. Uso gave him the hip attack and was about to do the splash, but Liv got Dominic out of the way. Dominic and Liv were outside the ring, and just like last week, he asked her to leave, but then Jey gave him a drop kick and fell right on top of Liv. Then Rhea came out, but Liv ran for the hills through the crowd, and Dominic was face to face with Rhea, but with the distraction, Uso gave him a spear, the splash, and won the match. Now we go backstage, and Rhea said to Dominic, let's get this straight. I belong to nobody, and you belong to me. Now we go back to the ring, and Gable is facing his fears head on by calling out Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy. Bo Dallas came out by himself, no mask. But then the Creeds sneak attacked him, and I think Gable has found a new tag team in the Creeds. Now all they need is Kurt Angle to be their manager. All three of them were beating him up, but Bo was literally just laughing. Then the rest of the Wyatt Six came out, but the Creeds and Gable ran for the hills. Now it's the main event. Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov for the title. Sami gave Dragunov the Blue Thunder Bomb and pinned him, but Ilya kicked out. Sami was looking for the Haluva kick, but Ilya gave him a jumping knee and pinned him, but Sami kicked out. Dragunov gave him an H-bomb outside the ring, but then Braun Breaker came out and speared Dragunov, which called for a disqualification, and was beating up both of them. And I guess the security that Pearce hired to keep Breaker out was not that good. Now we go, and now that was everything that happened on Raw. Now we go to SmackDown. SmackDown started with Cody talking about that if it weren't for Randy Orton, that he would never have been world champion because he was his mentor and always has been his friend. He said, WWE has more than one royal family, and not by blood, but Orton is my brother, so I felt guilty when the bloodline put him through the table last week. I want the man who took him out, Solo. And I told Solo, even before Mania 39, that you are not ready. But then A-Town Down Under came out. Theory said, because of you, Jacob Fatu attacked me last week. And the reason why Randy got hurt was also because of you. Then Cody was beating them up, but it was a 2-on-1 assault. But then Terrence Crawford, a boxer who was in the front row, gave Cody a chair and beat them both up with it. Yeah, we go backstage, and Cody wants to fight both of them. And Aldous said, okay, but you need to find a partner. And Cody said, I can take them on myself and prove a message to Solo. But Aldous said, you've got to the end of the night to find a partner. Now it's the opening contest, Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. Andrade did the Meteora in the corner and pinned Carmelo, but he kicked out. Carmelo did the Facebuster and pinned Andrade, but he kicked out. Then Andrade did a top rope moonsault and got him with the second time and pinned him, but Carmelo kicked out again. Andrade was coming off the top rope, but Carmelo met him with the first 48 codebreaker and pinned him, but Andrade kicked out again. But with the message, Andrade won the match. Now we go to Bayley and Nia Jax on a split screen in two separate rooms talking about their match at SummerSlam for the title. Nia said the fans should feel sorry for Bayley because I'm going to put her out of her misery like an old dog when I take the title. I just strolled. Bayley said, you are the same heartless woman and the same big mouth in the past 10 years we've known each other. You took me out of my SummerSlam match back in 2017. So I'm going to finish what you started. And you are big, clumsy, and reckless. Bayley said, you might have changed, but I have too. And I'm walking in and leaving SummerSlam as champion. But Nia said, but Nia was basically like assisting over, can I leave? And she just left. Now it's Bianca Belair versus Chelsea Green, and Jade and Piper are at ringside. This match wasn't anything special, probably like less than 2 minutes, and with an O'Connor roll up pin, Bianca won. Then the Unholy Union, Alba and Isla, the tag champions, came on the Titantron, and they might get a rematch for the tag titles. Now it's Logan Paul and L.A. Knight, yeah, with Nick Aldis in the ring for the contract signing for the title at SummerSlam. Logan said, why should I give this wannabe Sons of Anarchy a title shot? Knight said, you said there's no reason we should face each other for the title. Maybe you're right, but you might want to reconsider, because you've never beaten me one-on-one. And you're the man as long as you're the champion. But I asked you for a title shot, and you tell me no? And that's why I went to your house. And I was even in your pool to find you. I got a Money in the Bank qualifying match and winning it by beating you. Logan called him by his real name, Sean, and said, you need this match, and the difference between me and you is that you are only a wrestler. Yeah, you are only businesses in this ring, but when I leave this ring, I have a multi-billionaire company in Prime. As he said, the last name, Paul, is synonymous to wrestling, and I have a family and a wife, and I think he has a kid now. And he said, you have not had a defining moment in 20 years. In the last 20 years. You're just a gym bro with a spray tan and a catchphrase pretending to be The Rock. Knight said that you talk about fraud. Well, you're the biggest fraud of them all. Parading yourself as the United States champion. And he said, your brother is stepping in the ring with Mike Tyson, but you don't have the balls to go one-on-one with me. And Logan signed the contract. They were about to fight, but Aldis got in the middle of them, and Logan left the ring, but then went back in the ring, and they were having a slugfest. Now we go backstage tonight, and Santos with Elektra, and Santos said, in Money in the Bank qualifier, I was in that match too, and I didn't get pinned, and if it wasn't and if it was just me and you one-on-one, it would have been a different story. Knight said, well, SummerSlam isn't for another couple of weeks, so we can go at it right now. But Santos said that wouldn't be wise to face me before your title match, but who am I to stop you? Now we go back to the ring, and it's Meechin versus Tiffany Stratton, and Nia Jax is obviously at ringside. And Stratton gave Meechin an Alabama Slam outside the ring. Meechin gave her a Tornado DDT and pinned Stratton, but she kicked out. Nia distracted Meechin, and Tiffany was going for her moonsault, but then Bayley came out through the crowd. Nia ran at her, but sideswiped her and went over the barricade to the timekeeper's area. But with the distraction, Meechin rolled her up and won the match. And Bayley broke um Stratton's briefcase, like she stepped on it and basically like the hinges, like she broke the hinges off and stuff. Then we go to a talking segment with the Bloodline, and Solo said, "It feels so good to be the head of the Island of Relevancy and to be the tribal chief. But there's a mystery of who will disrespect the Bloodline by teaming with Cody tonight against Waller and Theory. And if you're on this Cody side, you're against Bloodline. So it better be a handicap match. Otherwise, someone's going to pay the price." Now it's the main event. Cody versus Theory and Waller. And a surprise to no one, his partner is Kevin Owens. And Owens gave Waller the cannonball in the corner and went for a swanton, but Waller got the knees up. Waller gave Owens the elbow drop and pinned him, but Owens kicked out. Waller gave Rhodes a flatliner and pinned him, but Rhodes kicked out. And gave Waller the crossroads. Kicked out. And Cody did the crossroads and won the match. But then the Bloodline came out and they were fighting Owens and Rhodes. Were fighting and Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes were about to put Solo through the announcers table, but Jacob Fatu stopped them and beat up Kevin Owens while the rest of them are beating up Rhodes and making him watch. And they powerbombed Rhodes through the table and pushed Owens into the ring post with a chair around his head. That was everything that happened this past week of Raw and SmackDown. Before I end this video, I have a new YouTube channel that I will be doing videos on Thursdays, starting this Thursday, and it's called Sparky and his friends' adventures, but like it doesn't come up though when you type it in, right? Even in filters, you actually gotta put the and sign, right? Like the A with like the circle around it. And then you gotta put in Sparky and Friends Adventures, all one word or lowercase except the S in Sparky, I think, or maybe it's all lowercase. I don't remember. But yeah, I have 5 subscribers now. Four of them are all from me with my other channel. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to my Sparky and His Friends Adventures. Subscribe to Music Man Mike 1234. Subscribe to Murderous Mondays. And now when you go to Murderous Mondays, you have to go into filters. Otherwise Bailey Sareen will show up. So you have to go into filters and then hit channel. And that's about it. Oh, and also the Sparky and Friends Adventures. I actually made a custom logo of what it looks like. Like I made like a custom logo of what it looks like. And yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, my social media friend helped me, which is the 5th member that subscribed to me. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and peace.